In Commitment 2024, it is pretty much the only thing just about everybody is thinking about with the election now just 4 days away.
Yeah, so what do the candidates have to do in the next few days to prove they should be our next president? We're joined now by Republican analyst Rob Gray and Democratic analyst Mary Ann Marsh. Thanks so much for joining us, as always.
All right, Mary Ann, let's start with you. Kamala Harris, we heard her closing argument a couple of days ago on the ellipse. What does she have to do? What's her strategy for the next 4 days?
Get out the vote in all 7 battleground states, and that's exactly what she's going to be doing this weekend, visiting all of them with her final appearance Monday night in Philadelphia. GOTV is everything, increasing the number of voters who are participating, especially women and kids 30 and under, is everything to her. And we're already having record turnout, but what you really need to watch in terms of Philadelphia and all that, her ground game's worth 3 to 5 points. That would win any state, any race this year.
And you're really focused on those 4 suburban counties in Philadelphia?
Yeah, the collar counties around Philadelphia, 100%.
Okay, and Rob, the same question for Donald Trump. What does he need to do? He's making headlines every day. I mean, they both are. Not necessarily just going to the swing states even. He's been all over. So what does he need to do?
For Trump, it's a messaging challenge. He needs to stop the crazy talk and start talking about inflation, the increasing price of mortgages, used cars, the price of bacon. He's not doing enough of that. He needs to run against the Biden-Harris administration. 27% of voters think the country's on the right track, only 27%. He needs to focus on that.
You agree with Mary Ann that Pennsylvania will be the decider?
It looks like it to me. Yeah, it's very, very close.
All right, so let's talk about Wednesday and beyond, the days after the election. 4 years ago, Joe Biden was not declared president-elect by the media outlets, frankly, until Saturday. Mary Ann, what does the rest of next week look like?
When will we know?
That is the question, and nobody knows the answer. I doubt will be Saturday, but then there's a whole nother factor, which is even if the established institutions, television networks and others call the race, call the states, Donald Trump is going to object. And he's going to object in ways that are threatening, questioning the way ballots were counted, going to the courts and all of that. And the intelligence community's put out a statement saying, look, we expect there to be violence of some sort, events that are concerning, all the way through January 20th, which is the swearing in and the inauguration. So it could be a long time. The question is, whoever calls this race and calls it officially, what does Donald Trump do after that?
Yeah, and Rob, your thoughts on the matter. Everyone is on edge. What will happen next? How will people feel? How will people respond? The country's so divided. What do you think we can expect?
Well, the vast majority of Americans will get behind the result when it's called by the Associated Press and other media outlets. Now, remember, in 2020, Wisconsin, Michigan, some of the key states, even Maine, it took them until Friday to call it. Pennsylvania and Nevada Saturday.
Very slowly, yeah.
Saturday, very slowly. So just know the vote's going to take a while to count. But when the media calls it, I think it'll be over Saturday.
Saturday, so the weekend again. Long week ahead.
We shall see. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Mary Ann, as always, for joining us. And count on News Center 5 and ABC News for up-to-the-minute results, reaction, and analysis on election night. Our nonstop coverage begins Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.